And that brings me to what for me is the most important part of today's passage, at least for this year reading it. If you read my post for yesterday, you might remember that I questioned whether or not the returned exiles had done the right thing by refusing the offer of the people who had been living in the land to help rebuild the temple. Well, I think we have the answer to that in the description of the Passover celebration they held after they completed rebuilding the temple. In verse 21 of chapter 6, it says about that Passover, quote, "It was eaten by the people of Israel who had returned from exile, and also by everyone who had joined them and separated himself from the uncleanness of the peoples of the land to worship the Lord, the God of Israel." End quote. That reads to me as if the returned exiles handled those who were living in the land exactly as I think I would wish them to do. They welcomed them they welcomed into their fellowship those of the people of the land who separated themselves from the unclean practices of the peoples of the land in order that they themselves could worship God. That those who understood that worshiping God required a level above what the people around them thought, what their culture had taught them. I think we can infer from this that the returned exiles accepted the assistance of those living in the land who wished to separate themselves from the unclean practices of the people and join the returned exiles. In the same way, we can allow those who wish to join us in the mission which God has given us if they separate themselves from the practices around us. That is, the question I asked yesterday is, how do we figure this out? And this gives us the answer. If you get something of value out of this, please like and subscribe.